Tony D and Little Joan sitting in my lap, recovering after her terrible ordeal at the groomer. You wanna show your haircut off, Joan? Nah, she's pretty wiped out. Anyhow, we're gonna look at The Rip, starring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck as two cops, and Stephen Young as another cop. And there's a bunch of cops, and they find a bunch of money, and then there's questions. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's The Pineys, books 1 through 18, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Trust has a price. What the hell are you talking about? So this looked like pretty standard cop movie until they got to this scene. And then Matt Damon has a tattoo on his hand. And it's a bunch of initials that stand for, "Are we the good guys?" Now, why would you tattoo that on your hand? I've never heard of anything like that ever before. Are we the good guys? Let me tattoo those initials on my hand so every once in a while I can look at it and think, oh, are we the good guys? I'm not sure. It's the dumbest, tropiest thing I've ever heard. I was on board with this cop thing until that happened. It's called The Rip. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Stephen Yeun, Tiana Taylor, I don't know her. I don't know Sasha Cal. Scott Adkins, I've seen him before. And Kyle Chandler, he was in the trailer too. That's the Friday Night Light guys. Now this is dropping January 16th on Netflix. Rated R for adult situations. That's an indication, though. They kind of know maybe it's not good. Like, January and February is the dead zone. There it is. There's the tattoo. Are we the good guys? Why would you tattoo that? That is the dumbest tattoo I've ever heard of. Maybe they read a story and I don't know. Maybe there's one cop somewhere who had that done, but I think they made that up for the movie. Here's Ben Affleck acting. Now, normally, I don't like Ben Affleck in a movie unless he's directing it. When he directs it, I think it's pretty good. Let me see if he directed this thing. It's called The Rip, by the way, because The Rip, I think, means when they rip off drug dealers? No, it's not directed by Ben Affleck. A group of Miami cops discover a stash of millions in cash, leading to distrust as outsiders learn about the huge seizure, making them question who to rely on. Director is Joe Carnahan, who co-wrote it with Michael McGrail. So, yeah, other than that tattoo bit, it looks fine. And, Ben Affleck acting, like, the scene is him knocking the drink. But, like, it looks like the drink is just, that to me is not where you'd put the drink if you were actually drinking it. Like, all the way over there, it's like too far for his arm. It should be more like in front of him. But, so he could go, psh. Because I think that's what he does in the shot. There it is. Damn it. Doesn't look natural, the placement of the cup to me. So, yeah. So, I mean, this, you could write this. Anyone could write this. The first act, it's a bunch of cops. They do a drug bust. They bust into a Miami safe house, essentially, for the crime syndicate, and there's supposed to be $300,000 there. Instead, they find $20 million, and it's a big haul. Now, if they did that in real life, a gazillion cops would show up. Like, every cop on the force would be sent to this house. They would lock down the area. The FBI would be called in. The chances of a group of cops successfully locking down something like this and stealing all the money, or even trying to, or even considering it, is low. There's just too much. They got body cams now. There's so many things, so many ways they can get caught. Now, the easiest way would be to, confiscate the money and then steal some of it. I don't know if that's part of the intention, but this tattoo's really just throwing me off. What's the ending? I don't know. It's a cop movie. So the dealers come and they go back and forth about whether or not to trust each other, and then probably one tries to steal it. Probably Matt Damon tries to steal the money, and Ben Affleck has to kill him. Because that would be the most dramatic thing to happen in the movie. Don't think it's realistic. Don't think it's realistic. A more realistic way to steal the money would be like they confiscate all the money and then somebody just takes a big stack of it, shoves it in their pocket. Or, one of the things goes missing, or, it's like, oh, we only had $19 million, I think. But even that, there's just too many people, too many cameras now. You can't steal something like this, And it's also true that sometimes the cops I believe they get a bonus if they capture something that big. I believe they do sometimes. That's part of the reason it's a little out of control with some of the confiscation with the cops. So they can legally get some of it, not 20 million of it. Probably, I don't know. Maybe they all get like $20,000 bonus or something. But yeah, so it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So, but the tattoo, I was willing to suspend my disbelief until I saw that tattoo. And then I was like, come on, man. Even if that's true, here's a screenwriting lesson. Sometimes there's something true in the world, something that actually happened, right? You read a story about it or whatever. Something with cops, let's say, in this case. Let's say it's 100% true. You shouldn't put it in the movie anyway. Why? Because it's so unrealistic, even though it actually happened, you don't want to put it in the movie. And that is true in very specific circumstances. Sometimes characters, especially stuff based on real life, some of them are so insane, you can't include that particular moment in the movie. People won't believe it. Or it'll be too funny, or it'll be too mean, So this is why some amount of creative license is needed if you're going to make it more of a narrative than, say, a straight-up documentary. Or you need to focus too much time on explaining why that's actually a thing. Right? In this case, I think they should have kept it out in the movie. Now, maybe there's a scene where he gets the tattoo or something, and we get more of an explanation, and then it feels more real. But I don't think so. It doesn't feel that way. I know, Joan. Joan's still a little traumatized. But yeah, Matt Damon, mostly, I just don't like his acting. He's okay sometimes. But I think he's really good director. Matt Damon, I kind of like his acting. I like his acting a little better. It depends on the role. To me, he's a better everyman. When he's playing like a farmer or some dude who just gets caught up in events. That seems to work for him. But they've been doing this a long time. I'm sure they were excited to work together again. Co-star in a big movie like this. Would I see it? I still might see it. Because it would be pretty jam-packed full of action. But it feels very... the whole thing feels very contrived to me. Like, oh, here's a big cop thing we're going to do. We're going to put all these big celebrities in it. And it's going to be a cop thing. And look at all the cop things we're jamming in here. Like, I want you to focus on the story, not the... especially on something like this, you have to focus on the story. You can't focus on the spectacularness of it, right? Maybe this is a real story. Maybe it was only $5 million or whatever. But these are the kinds of creative things, like, you don't want to make it too big, especially if it's grounded in reality. But again, maybe it's true. Maybe it was $100 million and they cut it back to 20 because they thought, oh, that's too much. There is reality and then there's movie reality, right? So for instance, reality is the pirates didn't bury treasure. Most of them didn't do it. There might have been a few instances, but overall, it's not really a big pirate thing. They didn't all talk yar, 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 and all that. However, when you're seeing a pirate movie, you kind of want buried treasure, and you want dudes running around going yar, 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 arg, matey. You want that, so you put it in the movie. Is it realistic? Technically, not really, but it depends on the kind of movie you're doing too. Typically, you're going to put that in unless it's the most super hyper realistic pirate movie ever made, or a documentary. Maybe you would keep it out, and you're dramatizing the thing. But it's the same thing for cop movies and everything else. There's certain things in a cop movie people want to see. People want to see a lot of action. Cops typically don't get in shootouts every day. It's not a common thing. It's extremely rare. Some guys go their whole career, they never draw their weapon and shoot it in an instance. They might draw their weapon, but they never shoot anybody or shoot even at anybody. So movies is a hyper realism. So that's why you have to, but you can go too far. I think the tattoo goes too far. But, maybe I'd say it. It's a little too dramatic. Let's see who else is in this. Anybody else I know? Nestor Carbonell? I think I know him. He looks familiar. Chris Silvestri, also named, sounds familiar. So this is coming out in January. Again, a bad time for any movie to drop. But it's on Netflix, and you have Netflix like me, it's free, so what the hell. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. And poor little Joan. Pray for Joan. She just got a haircut. Saturday, I'll be at Act 2 Books in Flemington, New Jersey, at noon until about 8:30, and we'll be doing a big scary fest. I'll be doing a talk on the Jersey Devil. I believe they're showing a movie, probably The Exorcist, and we'll have books and other horror writers. We'll be talking about horror, doing scary things. So come on out. We'll see you in the next one.